Welcome to Inspired by Design, the podcast where we explore the tools, stories, and insights to help you rediscover your authentic self and navigate life with less resistance. I'm Katie Rupert, a former hustle and grind overachiever on a thrilling and messy journey. I'd love to share what I'm learning and help others in self-discovery using human design. So, if you're seeking a way to move forward, let me be your weekly mindset coach and share stories to inspire you to action towards your unique purpose without the force or burnout. Welcome back. I am so glad to have you this week. This is Katie, your host, and welcome to Inspired by Design. Today, we are continuing our interview series, and I'm excited to introduce you to Adrienne Swanson. She is a wife and a mom and an entrepreneur, and I am really excited about this conversation because she is going to share her amazing story about crushing it and doing amazing things in the direct sales world, in the entrepreneurial world, and just being a go-getter. And then she also is in transition in her life. And so a lot of times we talk about this messy middle on this podcast. It's not about getting there, being at the top of the mountain, but more about the journey and the life and what we learn along the way. And I am really excited about this conversation and wherever it takes us. So Adrienne, thank you for being here. Welcome to Inspired by Design.
Of course, Katie, thanks for having me. I'm so excited too. We always have great conversations and I just love this topic and I'm very excited to be a part of it because I think so many people, like you said, are waiting to get to the top of the mountain. But honestly, even when you get there, there's more mountain to climb. I mean, like you think you're there and you're not there or something changes. And so I think that's the fun of life is that, you know, no matter where you're at, like there's more to come.
Yeah. Once you get there, there's okay, what's next, right? So it's not
about... at their peak and you look and there's another peak way up there.
I mean, do we really even think there are any true rocking chair people where like you get there and the whole goal in life is to sit on the porch and rock away till you die?
It's so true. And I think even when you hit these amazing things, like I had this conversation with my daughter, you hit these, like something really big happens you've been waiting for and it happens. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, it happened. Now what? You get to celebrate it, but it's not like you're just, okay, there, I'm done. Hands done. Like there's always something else or somewhere else, or you have to think of the next thing because it's never done.
It's so true. And we're going to keep living and learning and growing and high achieving, keep working on our mindset. People like us.
Yes.
We're always ready for whatever's next. So,
for sure.
I want to, so one of the things we do on Inspired by Design is anytime there's a guest, I like to share their human design type so that listeners can hear about my nerdy obsession, of course, but also I think it's really interesting to know about these 4 types and then see if they can notice through your story. And you are an emotional manifester. So I know we've talked about it before, it's been a long time. A manifester is someone who ignites, that sparks, that will get an idea that's just never been created in the world before, and they can't not move towards it. And if they try to resist an idea or an urge that they have for creation and to do something new, it will drain their energy and make them feel like burning life to the ground. That irritability and that anger comes out whenever you're not moving towards the things that you are created to create. Like there's something that just lights up in you. It's true fire. And, you're Leo fire sign. So it makes sense, right? And then that emotional piece is called your inner authority. So really all that means it's not about being emotional or not. It's about really needing and being able to be deep and thorough with decisions that you make, that you can sit on them, that you can look at them from all different sides and count the cost of what it is that you commit your energy to. And even if that takes a day, a week, or months to make a big decision, that would be what's right for you. Because if you try to rush big decisions that take your energy, then you will not feel grounded in them. You'll not feel like you'll always be second guessing if you try to rush it. Does that feel pretty accurate to your life?
That's hilarious actually that you say that, because it is kind of funny that when I know something I know it.
Mm,
And if I try to pretend like there's something else, I'm like, well, maybe I should think about this. It's uncomfortable. It's funny because John always says that if you don't care, you literally don't care. But when you care, you know, and you care. Like you
mm,
are like, no, this is what we're supposed to do. You are
yeah.
100% sure. So it's kind of funny that you say that because I've always felt that about me. I can be like, no, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But then when I do, I'm like,
You do,
no,
you do.
this is what we're doing.
I love it. And that speaks to the passion of again, fire, passion of a manifester, someone who's just like there's something truly special. And you're a unique type, which is pretty fun to be a unique type, right? All right, well, let's step back. Tell our listeners a little about you. Let me share. We met because of direct sales initially. I mean, we kept running into each other. We live near the same area. I did Pampered Chef, you did Tastefully Simple. And once you've done it for more than a year, you're like good at it.
Yep.
So we stood the test of time in our respective companies. And so inevitably running into each other at events. Eventually, when we started chatting, I was like, wow, I really like this gal. And we became friends, started, meeting for coffee or hanging out. And gosh, we've had some really deep conversations about life and the world and our coaching and how we support people and how we have been gently growing through the hard things that we had to learn the hard way with people and relationships. So I just have appreciated you entering my life, and I love that our journeys they've kind of been parallel, and growing the business, and then also like, oh, something's changing and now I'm in transit, oh, things are getting messy, and then how we handle that so amazingly. The things that we learned along the way when we were growing our businesses is what's supporting us to have the change not blow up our life.
100%. I feel the same, friend. It's like when we get together, it's just amazing to have someone who can support you, think it through, and think of the bigger picture, right? Like sometimes you get in the mess and you're so just like, ugh. And then to have someone who can help you think outside of that and like where you're going, and that when something's happening that might not be what you thought it was going to be, that doesn't mean it's bad. That means you're still learning and you're still growing. And I think sometimes when you and I have had those conversations, we've sat there thinking we were in like a bad or a hard spot, but like both of us can sit back and go, for the other one, it's always harder to do for yourself, but for the other one, like, hey, look at you though. Look at what you're doing. Look at how you're growing. Look at how this is affecting you, your kids, the way you're raising, the way you're showing up. Like those are the things that are just so important in life.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you too, my friend.
Yeah, bringing that perspective.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, tell us about you. What do we need? What are the need to knows? And I do want you to share a little bit about why did you choose direct sales? Like maybe kind of tell us
Yeah.
the spiel,
Yeah.
the story.
Um, so we go back to I was going to be a career girl, right? I was totally like, this is what I'm going to work. That's how I'm going to be, not very motherly, whatever. Then I had my son and I was like, oh my God, he's the cutest thing in the whole world. I have to stay home. So it's kind of funny that I happened to have, at the time, it was Homemade Gourmet. I had a party and they were like, hey, you can do this and make money. And I was like, seriously? Interesting. So I, at the time was still working. And as I always say, whether you believe in God, the universe, right? Things happen. So I had my son in a daycare and I had gone on maternity leave and popped in and showed up because I was like, oh, I got to make sure this is the right place and these people are great and whatever. And so after a few weeks, like, I was like, okay, I think I'm good here. I think I'm okay with this. Well, of course, I come in, I don't know, they called, my husband went to pick AJ up one day and they were like, hey, we need to see you. And he's like, what could an infant have done? And like, what?
Right?
Like, you can't go to the principal's office when you're a baby. And so he goes in there and they're like, hey, we're going to have to close. Like, our funding got cut. We can't do this. And that was my like universe sign that I was done with corporate world and I was going to stay home because I was like, I just figured this all out. My baby was going to be taken care of. And I was like, nope, I'm going to do it. So that's what started my whole direct sales shenanigans, let's call them, because it's been super fun shenanigans the whole time. Learning, growing, all the things. But What it was I looked at how much I would have to make when you take out daycare and the drive and the food and the clothes and all the things you have to buy to be a career person. What would I have to make? And so that's what started my journey with Homemade Gourmet. And then you want to talk about messy. I finally get into it. I earn my first trip. Right after I have my first trip, they're like, oh, we're closing our doors in the July before the trip was in September. And I was like, ouch. So maybe I'm done with direct sales. But then Tastefully Simple offered us as the consultants to come over and they would honor the trip. So that began my journey with Tastefully Simple. And just so you know, that was super short, but that was the messiest. Like, I remember I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going to go down there and burn down headquarters. And he goes, Katie, instead of going to prison, why don't you try Tastefully Simple and see if your clients like it? So he's my voice of reason, just so you know. And then I've been doing that ever since 2011, just helping families get to the dinner table and making cooking easy. That was a whole journey itself. I started out barely being able to do the minimum of $400 a quarter at Homemade Gourmet, and slowly with consistency and growing myself and knowing that I was here to serve my clients and not vice versa. I'm not looking for an order. I'm trying to help people, and that being my purpose changed my whole journey. And so now, from the start of my son being a baby, now he's in college. So I've been doing it that whole time.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Goodness. And then you grew that business. So I mean, take some of those accolades that you got and tell us about, like, you top of the top. Didn't you get like all the way up to the top?
Yeah, no, I'm still actually, they did keep some leaders when they moved towards affiliate. So I'm still actually just getting ready to re-promote to Diamond Leader with Tastefully Simple. So I made it, yes, to the top, and have had many, many amazing things happen to me. And I can't even think of the number of trips I've earned, and being able to get like the highest level of that where everything's paid for and you have your own butler in your suite and like just cool stuff, right? Like, um, but all of the whole time that I did this business, I kept my focus correct, right? Like, I did it to stay with my family. John and I used those trips as ways for him and I to reconnect without the kids. But then my time at home was with the kids. I got to use it for what I wanted and then help my clients, be able to cook for their family and have that family time, which is what it's always been about for me. So I have to say, like, that is for me the number one, is keeping in mind why you're doing what you're doing. Because
Yeah.
I think we lose that. People lose that. Like, all of a sudden, there were times that I was like, oh, I just want to be diamond, or I just want to get this. And then I was like, whoa, 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 this isn't about that. If
Mm.
I kept my focus on what was important, those things came, you know,
Yeah.
those things came.
That's good. And gosh, I'm stuck because I want to ask you so many questions. I didn't prepare you at all, but maybe something will spark. Oh, by the way, both of us share this life theme of the cross of distraction. So I know it's funny, right? So, I
That's why
mean,
our conversations go every which way when we talk, probably.
right. So we were born just one day apart as far as the zodiac signs, but the cross of distraction is really all about, sure, on an unhealthy side, we could keep distracted from our purpose, from why we're doing stuff. It would be really easy for us. And maybe that's why it's so loud that we need to be focused on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And come back to it over and over. And one of the things that I teach my clients, or anyone that will listen, like, hey, consistency doesn't mean every single day, no matter what. It means I know what's important and I'm always coming back to it, even doesn't matter how long or how far off the path I get, as long as I'm coming back, that's consistent, because it's the core, it's the roots, it's this is who I am and this is what I want for my life. And being able to come to that while holding the space for, I can change my mind at any time for any reason. But the distraction cross and life theme is really about being able to support people that are stuck and snap them out, distract them out from what doesn't really matter and help them get back on that path. And I know that you live this theme out. I saw you when you had an urge to move and support people that weren't getting what they wanted from direct sales. You started this podcast that was like these golden nuggets, which I listened to religiously. Loved how you support people, which I'm sure those podcasts still exist. If anyone listening is in direct sales,
Yes.
definitely want to go listen to those. And then watching you navigate, even if it was messy, like I'm doing all this stuff with Tastefully Simple and performing at the highest level, and I'm supporting my kids and having my family, but also you weren't willing to not move towards something that you needed to explore. And that being some of that private coaching that you were doing and navigating, like, where should I be, what do I want? And I think putting yourself out there, you learn so many more lessons. So do you want to talk a little bit about like what that was like, and if you can think of any specific lessons that you're like, if I wouldn't have done my life the way I wouldn't know this. Like, are there any of those big core lessons that you just have at top of mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny that you bring this up because this is kind of where I feel like I'm at right now, right? I have always done what feels right, right? And so for me, direct sales has been the biggest blessing in my life. To be able to have and do the things that I've done is like incredible. I couldn't ask for anything better. But as we talked about, Tastefully Simple went affiliate. They're still leaders, so I am fortunate enough to be a leader that's still here and able to do that. But as we all know, an affiliate style is more about making money right now versus you quit your job and you do this full time. I mean, it's just kind of, it's the whole thing's deviating. A lot of direct sales. Some are still intact as direct sales, but a lot of them are going affiliate. And that's more what it is. It's like an Uber, right? Like, I need to make this amount of money. I can make it by doing this, right? And that's where I took a break from the podcast as I was trying to sort through how I feel about all that. As my drive, as always, as we just talked about, was being able to help women have what I had, just being able to stay home and follow your heart and do what was best for your family. And going through all that, I am so thankful because I realized that even in this model that we have right now, I still can make the money to stay with my family. And so I had to go through all this. Oh, this isn't the same. Everything's different. Do I like it? Do I want it? And sort through, why did I start it? And see, again, what we just talked about. I got lost in the mess of like all these different things instead of, why did I start it? I started it to help other people. I started it to be with my family, and all of that is still true. That doesn't mean I can't go find other things and do other things and find, but this can still be a part of it. It's not like you and I had this was like such a turning point for me. It doesn't you don't have to close a door on something completely. Like,
Mhm.
just because you feel like things changed or things aren't exactly the way you want them, you don't have to shut the door. It's not like one or the other. It doesn't have to be open or closed. It can just be what it is right now. Does that mean it'll be there forever? Does that mean it's the only thing? Does that mean it doesn't matter. If you enjoy it in this moment, if it is serving you the way you want it to, even if it changed, even if it's different, it can still be for you. You don't have to be like, it changed, so now I have to choose yes or no, you know?
Yeah. What you're describing, there's a couple of things. So a lot of times on this podcast, since I talk about human design, I talk about some of the spiritual tools that I use. And just one of the concepts from yoga and human design is this masculine versus feminine energy. And the way you were describing the open door versus like letting it be what it is, in business terms, you and I might call that, okay, we're thinking all or nothing here. There's not just two options. What's the both and here? Let's go ahead and like, okay, it's either they hate me and they don't want to host a party, or they're all in. Okay, all right, great. That's two options. What are more options? Their dad just died. They're having a struggle in life. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably other
Yeah.
reasons they're canceling their party. So there's that piece, but in like spiritual terms, we've got this energy of masculine. And I think both of us lead with that. We're go-getters. Masculine energy is not about being male. It's about like, I am the sun and the fire, and I'm going to go get what I want. I'm pushing towards it. I'm initiating. I'm going there. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. And that's the masculine energy, which is a beautiful energy. We have to have that. What if we didn't? Oh my gosh, it's,
Right.
relating to the nervous system, right? Like, what if my nervous system didn't spike when I was about to die and I couldn't take that masculine energy and move forward? But there is this other balancing energy, the feminine energy, again, not female in nature, but receptive in nature, allowing in nature. I'm going to trust that right now for this season in the messy middle, there is no all or nothing. I'm going to have to just let it be and receive what comes and settle down and take some rest and resist the urge to push forward and do it the way I've always done it. And you are, sounds like, right in that transition area for your life. It's not all or nothing right now. You're kind of like, it could be confusing, it could be stressful, you could make it this thing like, oh, it's just not working, it's not like how it used to be. But you could also look at it, and I love that you're such a good example of this, like, I'm going to let it be what it is. I'm going to have open hands and be really curious about what it is that's going on here and enjoy what I can here in the mess. So what does that feel like right now for you? And you can.
Well, it's funny because the fact that you say that, like, that's what, if I were to summarize my last year, I would say mess. Like, that's literally like that. But it's been so beautiful being
Yes.
able to get here, because I felt like in the beginning when they made the changes, it was one or the other. Like,
Hmm.
I had been, I mean, let's be honest, for 18 years, direct sales and a mom.
Hmm.
So also remember, my son just went to college. So
Right.
I'm gonna be real open here about the mess, and I might get a little teary because my son went to college. Dang it.
Here's your
Um,
welcome here.
but so for like a hot second, I was like, man, am I really losing this leadership, this job I loved and worked for, and my title as a mom, which you never lose that. Come on. But I'm going to give you the real mess. I'm going to give you what was happening in my head
Hmm.
for a year, right? Like, oh gosh, am I losing my mom title, my, title at Tastefully Simple, the whole thing. And so I had to sit in it, and it wasn't fun. It
Hmm.
wasn't fun, which is why the tears still come, because life isn't always,
Right.
and it's hard for me as a 7. So any Enneagram people out there, I'm a 7. So sitting in a mess and sadness is not what we do. We go straight to like, hey, let's put on fun shirts and go out and like ignore all of this.
Wait a minute, that sounds a lot like distracting yourself.
Yeah, there's that too. Literally, there's a lot of that going on. Um, so when I sat in it, man, I realized, like, I could realize I'm a mom forever,
Yeah.
forever and ever. They call me, I'm gonna be there. Don't you worry about it. Like, that's never gonna change. And all of a sudden, I started getting that power back, that, like, man,
Yeah.
I can not, it's not all or nothing. It's
Hmm.
not like he's here and I'm a mom and he's gone and I'm not a mom. It's not like I no longer have the team I had, so I can't do this. It's like I can do this. But it's kind of that rebuild, right?
Hmm.
And rebuilding's hard. It is hard to go, okay, so I'm not going to see him every day. So how does this look? How am I a mom now? Like, what am I going to do differently to give him the growth? Because now he gets to do what I did, right? He gets to find his path and figure him out. And I feel like I'm doing the same again, in a way.
Mm. Yeah, I'm so glad you shared. Thanks for sharing vulnerably too. what I what I picked up while you were sharing is this, you know, you really can still thrive and enjoy your life even if it's not quite time yet. And you don't just sit and wait, right? Going back to finding your purpose in life, or maybe you need a new purpose or whatever, right? but I think that this is relatable. There's so many moms that their kids are starting to spread their wings. Even my kids, when I'm home, but I'm not with them because they're doing their teenager thing,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm do I feel guilty? Do I like there's all these questions, right? Like do I go and I force some quality time? No, probably not. Like let them be
No.
themselves and just make sure they know I'm here. But I also, if I sit there, I drive myself crazy. So I have to continually be the best version of myself. That's the best gift I can give them in the quiet when quality time is not what I have, right? And I will
Right.
not that
Yeah.
quality time as a toddler really was fun, but they needed
Well,
me, right?
yeah. And like you said, forcing it is never going to feel good for either of you, right? If they're in their moment and they're taking that time, they need that as much as when you need your time and you're like, I need to shut this door and I can't, like, no, but I mean, I need,
Right.
right? They have those same things. And I think that's the beauty of what this year has done for me
Mhm.
is, man, he gets to do all that. You know, my daughter's like yours, teenager, she's doing all that. So when they were little, it was more you trying to help them make the right decisions and guide them on the right path and help them understand how life goes. Well, now they get to take all that and determine what of it they keep, what of it they let go, and what their life looks like.
And
And
what of
so
it
it
they need to
really
go to counseling for.
how we mess them up. No, I'm kidding. But I think that like it helped me go, instead of this being a mess year, let's say, right? This can just be a year of learning, right? Like things changed. So many things in my life changed this year. It doesn't mean my title. So I felt for a while like my titles defined me.
Hmm.
Mother, diamond leader, direct sales, all of these have been defining me for 18 years. And now I'm like, oh no, nothing defines me. I define me.
Yeah.
And so I'll always be a mom. I will always help women who want something more. I like none of these are what made those aspects of me. None of those titles.
Mm.
I made those aspects of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
So remember, as you're transitioning anywhere, you're still you.
Hmm. And that's the part not to lose. Like you can lose the business, you can lose the people, you can lose everything, but it's our responsibility to make sure we don't lose ourselves. And when we do, that we come back to it, right? That we, once we do, maybe this is someone's wake up call that they've lost themselves and it's time. I think there's nothing gone wrong. It's not a problem if you have lost yourself, but once it's time to move forward.
Go back to that. What are your core values? Nobody's right. Nobody's core values are right.
That's right.
Like they're right for you. So
Mm,
when I keep saying, like, for me, it was always about helping my clients and my family, that's me. That's
yeah.
my design. That's who I am. So take a minute to go back to before the mess.
Yeah.
What was it that drove you? Because that can keep driving you. You
Hmm.
just, it might be driving you a little different road. It took an off course, and that's the way you're supposed to go, you
Yeah.
know? And that's what I think it is. Like when, like you said, you lose yourself, even if you feel that way, you're not really lost. This is part of your journey.
Yes. Rediscovering, uncovering, remembering. That was a big theme. I just recently got Reiki attuned, and one of the things that they shared was, what are some useful learnings that you can have from going, like we did inner child work and all this, like digging up the past stuff. And what kept coming to me was, it's not a useful learning. It's like just remembering what you already know. And yeah, we are really intelligent beings that are capable and purposeful. So it's a big
Yeah.
ask, but it's so simple. Just keep coming back to you. And then when you serve yourself and you take care of yourself, we hear that analogy all the time. But take care of yourself, and that is how you take care of other people. Mm.
It's so true because I remember I did an exercise a long time ago when I first started the whole personal growth journey. And it was like, write down everything you want out of life. And then basically, after a long time, you narrow it down to five. And every time I look at that list, it's always my five.
Mm,
Nothing's changed. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you can put to be a millionaire, to have my own jet, for a healthy family, like you put everything you want out of your life and you narrowed it down to five. And every time I look at that list, that's still what I want.
Yeah.
Those other things are noise, right? Like those other really big things that you think you want are noise next to those five. There are
Right.
things that, yeah, if they happen, great, but these are the things. And I'm like, I still have that postcard up on my desk.
That's
And
cool.
every time I look at it, I'm like, get back to that, get back to that.
Yeah.
Because it is easy, maybe because it's us, but it's all I feel in life in general, and the way that cell phones are and our like the world is going, distraction is easy. It
Mm.
is, I mean, I look at kids, like even me having to sit in this, it's so easy to not do that now. Before we used to be bored, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have a phone to just pick up or TV to just turn on all the time. Your TV show was only on for 1 hour and you had to watch the commercials and sit down and dedicate that time, right? You didn't
Out.
just get to watch it on demand. So I think that in this world, it's getting easier to be distracted and not know your focus, but also to ignore. If I kept ignoring what's going on this year, it's just going to get worse. And you know my beach ball, like push it in the water and hold it
Yeah.
down there. It's just going to fly up someday, like
Yeah.
let it come as it comes, because when you can sit in it, you realize it's not as bad as you think it is. When you're pushing the ball under the water, it feels really hard and really bad. And
Yep.
then it blows up, and then all of a sudden it's just floating on the water. And it's
Hmm.
not that bad,
You can
you know?
see the ball. Like,
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now let's move on. Like,
yeah. I mean, yes, with all the emotional work, with all of the personal growth, I mean, a lot of the theme is, hey, can we just allow this to happen? Because it's the resistance that's so hard. It's the gripping on so it needs to be a certain way that's so hard. And when you were sharing, I was thinking about K-pop Demon Hunters because I'm obsessed with that movie and the music especially. But there's one song in there that says, I couldn't see the beauty in the broken glass. And, you know, we don't really want boring, regular glass to drink out of, right? We like, there's so much beauty in a mosaic, there's so much beauty in putting things together in a unique way. The artistry of our life is it's worth it. It's worth all the mess. It's worth all the hard stuff. It's worth the effort that it takes to come back or to really um, be honest with yourself and come back to yourself. You never get too far. You never get so far away that you can't come back. um, hmm.
it's so true. And I think that that's where so many of us start going. I don't want to say backwards, but sort of like you do all this work and all these things are going great. And then the mess comes and people just want to step away, like, oh, I thought I was on this clear path this way.
Mhm.
But you're right. The beauty's in the broken glass. The beauty is in when your true self shows up when those bad things happen. So the first reaction is always obviously not usually great, but there's more. This isn't the end. But we let that distraction come in of, never mind, this wasn't what I was meant to do. This is, a lot of people use the universe and God in the bad way there, right? It would have worked if it was supposed to work. No, no,
Hmm.
no. You keep following who you are and what you want, and something's going to show up. And that's like we talked about before this. This is where I feel I'm at right now. I'm like, I have my daughter home for another year and a half. I know that I want to get back to podcasting, but I'm still trying to find that passion that I had before. Like, where is it? Well, the passion's there, but what's the audience I'm looking to reach now? Because it's changed a little. It's changed a little, and that's okay. And so it is kind of just sitting here and allowing my life to be what it is right now and know that it's coming. I know the idea, like you said, the manifest will come, and all of a sudden I'll be like, that's it. That's what I need. But right now, I'm just allowing me to handle what this last year has been, and also enjoy everything for what it is, because these things happen for a reason. Sometimes you break the glass and it stinks, but all of a sudden you're like, hey, maybe I could build something out of it, right? Like, what is it? I don't know yet.
Mm.
Take some time and be in what's happening to you. You don't have to have an answer right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And you and I talked about that. You don't have to pick yes or no. We always think it's like, I have to do something right now. But sometimes it's not right now. It's not right now. And that's okay.
and just softening into that and knowing that it's okay. If you,
Hmm.
you wait for, especially for you, this manifester thing is so beautifully said. As you started saying, I was like, yeah, this, not only is this true for most people, like we need to soften, we need to allow, we need to just observe our lives and be curious about them because we're going to learn. But as a manifester who's meant to rest in between urges and manifestations, like when it comes, you'll know. There's no
Yeah,
question. There's no forcing it. And it's really when you finally truly let it lie, that's when that momentum can start building up, almost like, if you think about the ocean, let's say it's a surfing ocean, like they get the big waves. You have to wait for the wave. You can ride it for a while, but it's going to move towards the shore and settle and almost come backwards, right? Like it pulls the sand, that undertow thing happens in order to start building that momentum again. And the wave is coming. You will surf again. But
hmm,
if you don't let the ocean do its thing and you're fighting against it, you're just going to be trying to balance on a surfboard standing on sand. Like it's not going
yeah.
to be the same experience if you force it. So yeah, there's just such beauty in allowing life without losing what it is you're trying to do.
So true. And I hope that anybody out there that's struggling with that right now know that, like, every person who has done amazing things has had messy times,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it's personally, whether it's business, whether it's both together, it happens. And don't think that just because someone looks, and I mean, I think that's the other problem with social media, right? You're not having these conversations. You're seeing someone at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see all the peaks that took them to get to the top,
That's right.
because social media is very easy about just showing your top moments and not your struggle bus moments. So, remember that that's happening to everyone.
Yeah.
Whether they choose to share it or show it is a different story.
Yeah.
So just know to sit in where you're at, understand, like if you want to stick with the ocean, this is one of my favorite things too. Everything's in waves.
Mm.
So when you get that big wave, like I did this year with, like, this is messy and I don't know who I am and I don't know what's happening, let that big wave hit you. Let it hit you, sit in it, because it's going to recede. It's going to go back. And then you can go, oh, hey, that wasn't as bad as I made it out to be, which is normally the story, right? Like, I will always be a mom, but somewhere in my head, I was like, oh my God, I'm losing everything I've ever known. No, I'm
Mm.
not. Like, I'm still a mom. That's crazy talk. But when we hold on to it and push it down, those get louder. And then when we release it, right? All of a sudden I was like, you're ridiculous. Like, so just let yourself have those thoughts. Let yourself have those moments and know that it's going to recede.
Yeah. Mm. It's so good. And I feel like I am so grateful for this conversation. I think it's so cool as an observer of it, two coaches coming together. Like whoever's listening to this podcast, like you got homework, peeps. Yeah, go make
Yeah.
that list of everything you want in life. Narrow it down. Why is this on here? What will that get me? You want $1 million? Okay, what is that? What is that? Why? What will $1 million do? And then what will that do? And what will that do? So you get those 3 to 5 things, your core values. I know for sure one of mine that always comes back is freedom. I need to feel free and autonomous. And like I am the director of my life. And when I don't, things don't go well. So that's a core value. So even no matter what it takes. It doesn't have to look like freedom, like chaos, but I need to feel freedom and not like I'm trapped and I have to, an obligation and all of this stuff. So I want to encourage all of our listeners to go ahead and do some of this coach work, because I mean, we just gave you gold today, and find out what are those core values, and also what would it look like for you to have a little more curiosity and a little less forcing things to happen. All right, let's do a quick wrap up. So, Adrienne, based on our conversation, based on anything that hasn't been said that maybe is kind of still over there in the back of your mind, like, oh, I feel like I need to say this, but I don't know where it fits. Like, this is that time to share that. Or if you have any pieces of wisdom that would help someone that is feeling stuck, take one little action today, like inspired action towards something, even if they're not going to see the result of it today. What's been left unsaid?
I would say if you feel like you're in a tough spot, like a messy spot, like we're talking about, you know, I'm just going to tell you, take 5 minutes to just let it be messy. Write it down, feel it, sit in it. And it sucks, guys. I am, like I said, I'm a 7. I want all the fun. I want all the laughter. I want all the good times. But like, unfortunately, you wouldn't know the good times without the bad times. So let yourself have a minute. I was talking with one of my good friends too, and she just is going through this. And she's like, you know what? I've learned if I just take 10 minutes a day and allow it to be what it is, like take in, I can then the next day it's not so big. And the day after that, it's not so big. But when we hold it, like we said, when we hold that beach ball under the water, it explodes. So I'm going to say, take 5 minutes today to just allow it to be and know that it's okay. Whatever you feel, it's okay to feel that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're going to feel it forever. I promise you're not going to feel it forever.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my biggest thing, because coming from a person like me that loves distraction and happiness, if you don't sit in that just a little bit, if you don't allow it to come, it's going to keep nagging at you. Like you sort of said, without your freedom, right? Like it feels like weight and pressure, and that's just going to keep building.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be coming from someone who doesn't want to do that work, do the work.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. And just circling back to the mom, because that was a big theme of our conversation today. If you want to be that rock for your kids, you take care of yourself and you do this work for you. You don't have to tell them how to do it. They will watch you, and they will know it's safe to feel their emotions. They will know it's safe to be messy. They will know it's okay if it's not perfect. If you don't hide getting from A to Z and all of the detours along the way, then they will learn so much more than, wow, it is possible that you can get to Z. It actually helps more. Let them see you be the messy, I'm doing life, and do it out loud on purpose. Don't hide it from your kids, because this is what's going to teach them. I feel.
Yeah, their lives are going to be messy. Everybody's life is going to have messy moments. So if you teach them that they shouldn't have those, which of course, as moms, that's what we want, right? We want our kids to have no messy life. We want it to be perfect, but that's not life. We want them to have a happy life. And with that happy life will come messes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
well, this was as always, I love talking with you. I love that this one gets to be heard by others, because every time we talk, I'm like, oh, I feel like everyone would benefit from that conversation.
I know. I love it. I love it. Whenever we have a conversation, I take something away that's just so empowering to my life and growth and where I'm going and what's happening in this moment. And so I thank you for that. And I hope that this also helps some other people who are going through those moments.
Me too. Anything else you want to say today?
Just thanks for having me, hon. It was so good to see you.
Oh, same. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening to the end. And if you are curious about joining this conversation or have something to say or an example to share, make sure you join our Facebook group, Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. We'll be chatting about that this weekend, and make sure you check out the show notes for some links on events coming up here shortly. Until next time, bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your takeaways, subscribe, or even leave a review to help others find the show. For more tools and insights, visit my free Facebook group. And until next time, keep embracing exactly who you are and move forward one inspired action at a time.